Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the Keeper of Lost City Q&A. The series is extensive, so we've just got this one book just to show you. Boom. All of Ella's books are trash, I'm sorry. You might notice that there's someone else here today. This is Ella. She runs this account on Instagram. Go follow her, or if you already follow her, that's great. Yeah, she's gonna be asking me a couple of questions today. She put a question tag on her Instagram. These are the questions from that. Just so you know, I hate this series, and Ella loves this series, while acknowledging its flaws.
Many flaws, but many good parts that she refuses to acknowledge, so
Take it away.
alright, question number 1. What made you want to read Keeper of Lost Cities?
My mom got me this book for, I believe it was like Christmas or my birthday, and I read it all in one day because that was like the point in time when I would just read anything, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good, Ella, you need to read it. And then Ella procrastinated reading it for like a hot minute. I did not realize this was a series, so, or like I was like, there's a lot of like unanswered questions, wonder if there's a second book. Oh well. Ella actually found the series, so
Yeah,
that's how we
oh
are
my God.
here.
Laura, like, it's a series, and she was
I
like,
will let you know.
what?
I got about, this far, and I was like, not
Okay.
fun.
Fitz or Keith?
Keith,
That's an easy
obviously. Not that either of them are particularly wonderful.
Shut up. Keith is the best one.
Well, comparatively, yeah.
Keith, my soul.
Shut
Except
up,
for maybe
we
Jam
all
song.
know how you have a
I know.
creepy
It's
obsession with
okay.
this character.
I-
You know why y'all ship So Keith? It's because y'all can project onto Sophie, and you just like Keith. Anyways, point is, I like Keith better, but they're both nothing special.
What's the most interesting aspect of Keeper of Lost City to you? Example, the world building, characters, etc. If you were to choose like one that's like you think is like moderately decent, which would you choose?
I think the concept is an interesting concept. But the thing is, the concept in this book changes constantly and is quite vague. In this book, there was a concept of keepers that keep the secrets, and hence why it's called Keeper of Lost Cities. But that was not thought through because that has never been mentioned again. So what happened to that? Not a clue.
The idea is good, but like
It was not executed well.
you don't like what you think is like the basics of the characters. Because I like the forms of the characters.
The characters, as very basic, rough drafts of characters, are good. As fully formed, like, published characters, the dynamic could be super good, but it's just not.
I do agree with that part. Has like Tam ever talked to Fitz?
No. The only reason they all hang out together is because of Sophie. She's so wonderful.
She's so
she has all
brave.
these powers, but like she's useless in a battle. Oh no, Keith
Yeah.
has to save her.
Okay, this is our first Fitz question.
Oh man.
Opinion on Fitz.
He's not good, guys. I
Yeah.
know y'all ship Sophie and Fitz.
You're an important and valid part of this fan base, but
I think that Fitz is a very angry person, and he gets angry at things that are unreasonable to get angry at. And I don't think the narrative quite understands that it is unreasonable to get angry at someone for trying to save your dad when your dad was not savable.
and you didn't even read flashback where he tries to
No.
kill Alvar and is like, oh
That
my
is
God,
unacceptable.
Sophie, if anyone dies tonight, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's not okay. It is not okay to have a character say something like that and then have it be fine.
Or when his best friend has something traumatizing happen to him and then he brings it up in a very mean way.
He's the
You know.
meanest of them all, and it's treated like, oh, he's like so cute and dreamy and like, oh, what a good guy, and he's not. And that's, especially since like 12-year-olds are reading this. If you're 12, I'm sorry, but this is not the relationship that you want. You've got to understand that that relationship is toxic and not okay, and that there's a lot of things in that relationship that should not be tolerated. The books tolerate it. All the characters are like, this is fine. He just goes crazy and tries to kill his brother sometimes, when in reality, like, that's not okay.
There's a few other things that you shouldn't take, like, too deeply, like, the whole elves' lives start at contraception thing. That's like kind of like, but the rest of the series I think is really good. Okay, next question. Who's your favorite counselor? Don't go around saying, "Oh my God, the counsel's useless." We all know
they're completely useless. The council does nothing. There is only about 3 or 4 counselors that actually do things, and there's about 17 of them. So what are the other 14 doing? What is the point of them? They're just, sometimes they mention one of them and they're like, she has some cool abilities.
Oh, there's the one that can do lightning.
Yeah, like,
So cool.
They just show up and do whatever, and they never contribute anything. The only reason Bronte and Orly are my favorite counselors is because they're the only ones that actually matter.
What do you think Keith's new ability will be? Which is, spoiler, if you haven't read Legacy yet, don't watch this part. I don't know.
I think that instead of giving her characters just new abilities, maybe she should actually develop them first. So to answer your question, I think that she's probably gonna go with something new that we've never heard of.
I hope it's the electric.
Because she had a brainstorm and said this would be a cool ability. What?
Do you know what I just thought?
What?
I've never seen on Keith's wall where you know how he's having a mental breakdown, which is relatable. He has all the sticky notes on the wall and stuff.
I do remember that.
And one of the notes says, "Why did she make them test me 3 times to see if I manifested as a conjurer?"
But what I think is that she was having trouble falling asleep one night and was like, this would be a cool ability. That's probably the thing she's going to go with, a combination of darkness and light.
Oh my God, that makes sense with Conjurer too. Which is your favorite book?
We've got all of the books laid out in front of us so I can see them all, because that I can figure out when things happen, because it's not clear to me. My favorite book, flashbacks immediately out. I have not read Legacy, so I can't say. Nightfall sucks. Lodestar was nothing happened. Never seen.
Was very good and should be your favorite one.
You just like the ending because it's angsty.
No, it's actually really good with world building and actual storyline. And this book is a bunch of standing out events. You know what I'm talking about?
So you mean not filler?
Yeah. And really good characters, just really good dynamics. This is the one with there's actually dynamics. This is the one where Tam and Lynn come in.
Oh, this is the one where Tam and Lynn come in. Okay, I think Never Seen would probably be my favorite then, because it kind of, yes, the cover is torn off. I don't know what Ella did to this book.
No, this is Charlotte.
But it would have to be Never Seen, because I think that took the world and changed it in a way that was not that bad. We've got to talk about how the freaking artist did Keith dirty. Man out here looking like spoiled milk, mashed potatoes. Meanwhile, Fitz, whoo, that Fitz can do whatever he wants. Oh my God, this man.
Meanwhile, on the load, so Keith.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Question mark, question mark, question.
Someone really wants to know my opinions about Sokeith. The thing with Sokeith is that Keith has an actual character. He has the base amount of character development to be a character. Meanwhile, Sophie is literally cardboard. She makes the stupidest decisions. She's like Feyre all over again, and I cannot.
Not as problematic though, right?
The thing is, it was not Feyre that was problematic. It was Tamlin and Rhysand. But that's a whole nother video.
Okay, favorite villain.
I would say
mine's Brant. Go ahead.
Well, this is not a Q&A for you, Ella.
Well, it's gonna be okay.
I think that my favorite villain would probably be the Vespera girl, even though
the one that she just popped in Nightfall.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that she just kind of showed up. And the thing is, why does there have to be a villain every single book? So why? It makes it so stunted and weird. That's too many characters, though. You've got all of your main cast, which is a lot, and none of them have any sort of character besides Keith.
Bro, Lynn talked 3 times in Legacy.
It's just formed a pool of water.
Okay,
into
wait.
her
backstory. I've just noticed while I've been reading this, and I've been telling Lorelai about it, that Lynn just, like, when she cries, every time she cries, she forms her tears into something. Sometimes it's hearts, like, sometimes it's something else, like the form of a person or something, and it's always really weird.
Lynn was crying. She formed her tears into the shape of a heart. Like, just imagine. I'm so sad. Damn, I've never seen it. Just... This is the only way I can express my sadness.
Is Alden evil?
Yes. I think he was evil. Even
Me and Nicole originated that theory. Go ahead.
I think he was evil from book 1. Because what person steals a 12-year-old from their house, from their life, and tells them they need to gas their family? And you might argue, well, he could have had her die, but what person wants their family to think they're dead? He gassed her family.
Yes.
He made her gas her family. If that's not evil, I don't know what is.
Best parents.
Probably Dex's parents, just because they seem like actual parents. Alden and Della, Alden's a jerk. Della, she could be replaced with the leg lamp. And the story would be the same.
Put a picture here.
Like, leg lamp. It's Della. Grady and Adeline are just so stupid because, okay, so imagine your daughter dies. And it's traumatizing because death doesn't normally happen. So you're like traumatized, right? And so you go and you grieve for like a while. And then there's this little girl who looks exactly like your daughter. And you're still kind of in shambles. So do you think it's healthy to, like, adopt this child who's, like, also been traumatized because she just left her entire home and everything she knew? And we all know that Sophie, like, kind of suffered for this because she was like, man, I'm, like, a replacement child. Ugh. How she talks, how this 12-year-old is talking, man, I'm a replacement child.
3 things you would change about the books.
So, the characters, first of all, I would completely tear them down and reimagine them. I would make them much more fleshed out, and I would make them make sense. I would cut out so much filler. That filler just drags the story so much, and a lot of the plot, it seems so stretched out because it is stretched out because she's like, I gotta write more books. Can't exactly do that when you don't have any plot at all. I would make the Neverseen an actual villain instead of being cowards because they're always one step ahead, which is fine, you can do that, but the thing is, you never give the good guys any wins, like anything. Also, for like the first 2 or 3 books, it's built up that the Black Swan is this really extensive spy network. Like, it's got people everywhere. And there's literally like 5 adults in a room with like 3 teenagers, or however many teenagers there are. I don't care. Where's the extensive network that we were promised? And also, it's like the Black Swan's here, and the Neverseen's like way up here. And it makes for a very bad match.
Rank the cliffhangers.
I don't like the cliffhangers. But my favorite cliffhanger would probably be Neverseen, for sure.
Which powers do you feel are unnecessary?
I actually don't think the powers are the problem. When you have a character that has 40 billion powers and they're absolutely useless in battle or in a fight, it's a problem. And when instead of developing your characters, you just give them some more powers, that is also an issue.
If you were to give Sophie a new love interest, who would it be? An actual character.
Yeah.
That's it. Last question.
That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. This is my last video, so if you've watched any of my videos, thank you so much. I might post a video if I read a book that I'm like, this book, either good or bad. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
This one's signed.
No, just focus. I got about this far in Legacy.
Really? You read it?
Legacy, yeah. Or Flashback. Yeah,
That's,
Flashback.
This is Legacy, that's Flashback.
And have it. No,
or-
no, no,
or
shh,
like-
I'm not done
No,
talking.
no, no.
This is my channel.
Whatever. Wait, pause. Look how much taller I am when I sit up.
I hate you. So,
Bronte's my favorite because it can be argued that he was in love with a human, and I think that's really interesting.
wait, when?
Because he, like, talks, like, there's, I forgot the exact, like, clues, but the one that I can remember is that he's, like, super, like, weird about Amy, and he's, like, not like, no, not like that, but, like, sentimental, because, like, she's a human.
Fine.
You know, most of the people who are going to be watching this video are going to be Kotlc City fans.
Fight me.
Because there's lots of good ones. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
That's what she did when Tam died.
Let me talk.
Died. Jordan never seen.
So, wait, no, listen. Oh my god. That was my leg. That was my leg, okay? That